There were hugs for the man in the brown hat and jacket and tears from a family member recording the release. Narciso Barranco is an immigrant and father of 3 U.S. Marines. He was held in ICE custody for nearly a month. Hello everybody, David Schuster here. In June in Santa Ana, California, Narciso Barranco was working his job as a landscaper. He was trimming the grass in front of an IHOP restaurant when he was approached by masked men wearing vests. Barranco tried to run and was tackled and thrown to the ground. Video, first broadcast by CNN, showed the ICE and Border Patrol agents punching Barranco.
¿Y por qué le pegas?
Within hours, the recording of this incident went viral on social media, and soon the story was picked up by the broadcast networks and channels, including CBS News.
This violent arrest was captured on camera. You can see agents restraining a 48-year-old man, repeatedly punching him, blood visible on his shirt as he screamed. We've since learned that man is the father of 3 Marines, 2 active Marines, and 1 Marine Corps veteran.
Amidst the public outrage, the Trump administration's Department of Homeland Security pushed back. DHS claimed that Barranco had tried to attack ICE agents with a weed whacker. But Barranco and eyewitnesses denied that. And video didn't show him on the attack. Instead, it captured him trying to run away from a pepper-spraying ICE agent while Barranco was carrying the weed whacker. Subsequent video showed agents not only punching Barranco on the ground,
¿Y por qué le pegas?
but then after lifting him on his feet, they used force again. One agent took a metal rod and slammed it against Barranco's neck while pushing him in the vehicle.
No one, whether you're in a facility detained or on a street corner, should be treated violently. That is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. That can be a violation of the First Amendment, depending on whether someone's peacefully protesting or doing anything else.
And that anything else can include criticizing a law enforcement officer or even telling the government agent to go f themselves. The courts have long held it as protected speech. Legal experts, though, point to something even more stark and disturbing in the ICE violation of constitutional rights.
We see a man on the ground, and as his son points out, 5'6" 5'7" tall, 150 pounds, and we see multiple agents, many of them quite large, and he quite clearly looks unable to create any harm to those officers.
And that's important because under settled case law, the courts have ruled repeatedly that officers can only use physical force if somebody is threatening to harm themselves, bystanders, or the law enforcement officers. In this case, even if some agents had been told that Mr. Barranco had waved his weed whacker at an agent, once Mr. Barranco was on the ground and separated from the tool, he posed no threat. And for officers to then punch him repeatedly, well, that is clearly against the law.
We have a Constitution of the United States of America, and the Constitution is quite clear and quite plain, and the interpretation of our Constitution has been quite clear and quite plain. People have the right to process that is due. That means the ability to see a judge and to be determined whether or not there's action that can be taken against them.
But it's not up to law enforcement officers or ICE agents to take action themselves and mete out punishment. It's up to a judge and a jury to decide if somebody has broken the law and what should happen as a result. In this case, however, the ICE agents violently took matters into their own hands.
It's impossible to look at this video and not be deeply disturbed and demand an investigation of the conduct of these officers.
Legal experts say that in addition to a criminal investigation, the ICE agents are also vulnerable to civil penalties and fines. Based on the video and eyewitness accounts, experts say Mr. Barranco would have a strong civil lawsuit against ICE. For now, his family says they are focused on Mr. Barranco's physical and mental healing. They say he was denied care in detention for a dislocated shoulder and that the entire experience, including the arrest and confinement, left him traumatized.
We want to get him that right medical attention, those exams, make sure he's all good, make sure he wasn't injured like badly, any internal stuff. Yeah.
And what has he said to you about his health?
He says he's in pain. He's still in pain. He has headaches. His shoulder still hurts. His back started hurting. So, yeah.
That young man served in the U.S. Marines. 2 of his brothers served in the Marines as well. Can you imagine what's been going through their minds? This is a family that represents the best in America. Young people who volunteered to serve a cause greater than themselves by serving their country in the military. And their dad, the man who raised these American patriots, was harassed, assaulted, and thrown in a detention facility because he committed the crime of landscaping while Latino. This is one of the most disgusting ICE arrests we've seen to date, and there have been many. It's not clear if Mr. Barranco will bring a lawsuit. He first has to deal with his citizenship status in a hearing coming up next month. But one can only hope that Mr. Barranco and his family, with the help of neighbors, friends, and concerned citizens, will hire the best civil rights lawyer available and sue ICE into oblivion. There may be nothing that will stop the reckless, violent behavior of the Trump administration ICE agents, but it's important to send a message that in this nation, the Constitution still applies, due process still matters, and violent ICE thugs who unlawfully rough up anybody will be held accountable. Justice must be served. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.